New Guinea is the second largest island in the world, situated directly north of Australia. By September 1942, the enemy had moved down from Boona to a distance 20 miles from Port Moresby. Our GIs were not yet in the battle, but the Australians were, moving up the famed and treacherous Kokoda Trail from Moresby over the Owen Stanley Mountains. Native carriers were a great help. The Aussies slowly pushed the enemy back over the Kokoda Trail, over terrain without roads or reason, never knowing where the enemy was concealed. The problem of supplying the Australian troops in the Owen Stanley mountain range, which ascends to 14,000 feet, was solved only by air. But there were no airstrips on which to land and unload the needed ammunition, food, and medicines. The astonished natives watched the aircraft fly in low and drop supply containers in the open fields. These Australian allies had been fighting alone in New Guinea from the start. But in the fall of 1942, we began to arrive. First at Port Moresby, where we loaded into aircraft to be airlifted over the Owen Stanley to the north coast.
G'day everyone, it's Warren from NQ Explorers again. Today we're at another military relic hunt site that we're privileged to be in because we're actually given special permission to hunt this site. We're actually invited in here. So I'd suggest that we're going to be, if not the first, a couple of the very few detectorists who've been into this area. I'm just still researching the unit history here. I'm not quite sure which unit was here. It was an element of the 7th Division, Infantry Division as I believe, but the particular unit I'm not sure. There's some interesting infrastructure through this. There's a bit of concrete slabs and there's some level areas where tents have been, which is where I am now. Just had a bit of a scout around, so we're going to spend the day in here, Colleen and I. It's our first time in here. Really looking forward to this because there should be some good stuff in this place. As you can see, it's fairly thickly forested. Clearly it wasn't in 1943. They would have cleared these areas, but it's all obviously regrowth now. But there's still some big trees in here that would have been there 70 years ago. But there's quite an extensive area to hunt. And it's all fairly thickly vegetated with a lot of leaf litter, so it's just low and slow, and we'll see what we come up with. So thanks for watching the video. We'll be back shortly with our first relic. Well, I haven't even turned my detector on yet, but Colleen's over here with the AT Gold. She's just got a 78 signal here. She said, let's have a look and we'll do a live dig. So there is a chance a bit of modern rubbish may come out of this area because it's not far from a picnic ground, so there may be beer bottle tops and those sort of things. 78's a nice wide number, you can't walk past that. Could you iron check it?
Yeah.
That's a rock. It's on this side of the hole, yeah. Could be a halfpenny at 78. It's not. Did you see it come out? What is it? Oh, it is. It's a Coke bottle top, is it? Yeah, Coca-Cola. Definitely not World War II. Okay, Colleen's got a 7980 here with the AT Gold. Iron checked it, no iron. Seemed to be a fairly compact target. It's a good hit. Nice right tone. Fairly loud on that proportional audio, so it may not be too far down. Oh, it's a modern bottle top. What is it? Don't know. Some brand or other of modern alcohol. Here's Colleen's first find. Semi-surface, it was just under a little bit of leaf litter. It's a key. Looks to be a vehicle key. If there's anything written on it, I'll be able to identify it. Good one. Okay, Colleen just called out she's got a coin under this root. She saw a round object in there. Might be a pro pointer job, eh? Oh, it's a penny. Oh, you beauty.
No, I think it's...
Or was it 20 cents?
20 cents, I think.
20 cents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they don't ring up very high, do they? It wouldn't have been a high number.
No, 60 something.
Okay, good one. Well, here's my first Second World War artefact. It's a 50 calibre hull. Doesn't look like it's been fired. Perhaps pulled apart by the diggers. They used to get up some hijinks pulling these things apart, but that may have been live and exploded in a bushfire, I don't know. But as you can see just here, just in front of the detector, is a rather large concrete slab. Not sure of the function. There's definitely Second World War, because it's just in this fairly dense bushland in here. There's an infantry, or elements of an infantry division camped in this area. Well, actually, I've just looked over here as I'm talking. You can see there's an old water drainage pit there. Good one. Well, Colleen's just called out to me. She's found a cache. I didn't know what that meant, but they're all 45 ACP live. Look at this. There's targets aplenty in this little pile. Here they are, all live 45s, been buried at the end of the war. Check that out. Well, how many you got there? There's 3, 7, still more in the pile there.
I think so.
It came out of a reasonably deep hole, actually. Just check with the detector, is any... Oh yeah, there's plenty more in there. Spray pointer. There you go, another one coming out. Live 45s. Well, as usual, the World War II sites don't disappoint with the ammunition. Well, I'll let Colleen continue with this dig and see what else comes out of this little cache. Okay, well here's the result of Colleen's cache dig. Got 10 live 45 ACP, all in a very small hole. They may have been in a pouch or something originally, but they look like they're all buried together, so they're in a very small area. Anyway, that's good. We'll just continue in this area. There are targets in the vicinity, but that was one concentrated collection of targets there for sure. Well, we're having a big day on the ammunition. That's a 303 hull I've just got there. You see it as I found it. I just scraped back the leaf litter and it was pretty much lying on the surface. It's been shot. But I've now stumbled across what looks to be a tent encampment area. There's a bit of a concrete slab up higher, and there's a levelled area where there's been a very large tent, I would suggest. I'll share that bit of infrastructure in a minute. But here I'm getting a solid 81. I've just pulled back those dead leaves. Not a really big target. So this could be a buckle, a webbing buckle, maybe a coin. 81's a fairly good reading. We'll have a look. It's like I said, it's right in the middle of this encampment area, so there's a good chance that it'll be a personal artefact like a buckle or a coin, because it's be in the right place if it is. Okay, got it out. I didn't see anything come out of there. You might have seen it. We'll have a look here. Could be a webbing buckle. They bring up beautifully like that. Might have it here in my hand. It's very small. Oh, here we go. A rising sun collar badge. You beauty. Well, there you go. That's very satisfying. Come into a tent area in the bush. I detected the floor of the tent, and there you go. A rising sun collar badge. Looks like the lugs are a little bit squashed. I can't see the definition on that properly, but a little bit out of shape, but that's a great find. Magic. I have given that a bit of a bush clean, and I can see that the black enamel is in very good condition underneath. You can see the black enamel under those bayonets there around that crown. So I don't want to clean it too much here. I'll do it gently at home with a bit of soapy water and a toothbrush, and I'll do a still photo, but that looks to be in really good condition. Well, this is the ground features that led me to that rising sun. It may not be very clear on the video. Up there's a cut bank. This area's been scooped out and levelled, and it continues out in that direction, and it's been filled. So they've got a big level platform here, probably about 15 metres long. So I was detecting the floor of what I believe to be a tent there, and that's where I got the rising sun where the detector is. So that's great. Okay, well, this has got my heart pumping. That's the rising sun dig. I picked the detector up. I'm still in this tent area, what I believe to be a tent. That was the rising sun there. I swung around to the right here, and I got a solid 82. 85, 83. Next to this bit of, as you can see, this is all regrowth since 1945, but let's go live again. We'll embarrass risk another embarrassment another decade. Well, the last one wasn't too embarrassing. Hopefully this one isn't either. Once again, it's not a large target. I just lift my coil up here. I'm barely getting the signal, so that's a good solid hit there. And it's a higher target ID than the rising sun was. Maybe a big rising sun if I'm really lucky. Could be a penny or a buckle. Okay, that's a very solid 83. Be careful here and scratch what it is we're trying to dig out of the ground. But all these regrowth roots, and I make this dig difficult. I can see that because I'm right up against this little tree and I don't want to damage its root system too much. Okay, we'll have a look at this and in case she's out. Good one. I didn't see anything coming out of there. Okay, solid 84 high tone. Can you hear that? Okay, had to cut that dig eye, upset the tripod there, but anyway. The target's now out of the hole in this mullock. Right up the top of the mullock by the look of it. See the target ID there. Pretty solid and consistent. Let's see what this is. Oh, I can see what it is. Penny. Not far from the rising sun I get a penny. You little ripper. Let's have a look at that. Probably a kangaroo. Oh, it might be a Commonwealth coin, eh? I'm not sure. I'll clean it and I'll get a date. Well, actually, it's a 44 kangaroo. The glorious patina underneath on that coin. King George V. Well, this is really encouraging. I've come in, I mean, a lot of these areas have been seen detectors before, but because we've got special permission in here, perhaps that's not the case. To walk into a tent base like this and start picking up targets on the floor gives me great hope. So I'll just go low and slow here. I might even go over to the sniper coil and get in amongst all the regrowth trees and shrubs. Okay, Colin just called me up. She says she's got a coin. It's like a shallow scrape. Oh yes, it's pennies come out of the ground. Ripper. What was the target ID? Was it
84, 85.
Okay. Is it a kangaroo? Yeah, I can see his tail. It's a kangaroo. 1944, I can see it. Well, it's 244 pennies. What a beauty. I'm just scratching around on this tent slab here and a big root just hopped in here. I'll see if I can pick him up on the video for you. I'll probably move. He'll probably move before I get anywhere near him, but you might be able to see him straight ahead there in the bush. There he goes. I don't know if you're going to see that. So there's plenty of wildlife in this area. Next target from the tent floor at a solid 66 is a jungle boot tread. Well, I'm pretty sure now no one's detected this spot after that penny and the rising sun and Colleen's penny. In this tent area still, we've got a Dixie coming out of the ground. Massive signal, as you'd imagine. Nearly didn't dig it because of the size of it. Let's have a look at this. She's not troubled. She's under a bit of a root there. It's going to fall apart. Well, I hope when I find these sort of things, it's nice to preserve them, but this one, I won't be able to say this old girl. She's pretty. I'm just going to destroy it, recovering it. It's rotted under. I can feel the base of it's rotted out and it's stuck under this root. Okay, it's come apart, but I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to salvage that. Well, there it is. Anyway, look at that. World War II Dixie. Oh well, 7 years in the ground is going to do that to something, I guess. This is quite a damp area, quite a high rainfall area, so iron, steel items aren't too good. Anyway, that's great to find that in the tent area too. So they're eating their meals in here and dropping coins. So it's obviously a, it's not like a work tent or a, I'd say it's a barracks tent. These are the lines of some, I'll research this spot and find out which particular unit was camped on this spot. Well, here's my Dixie, and to go with it, Colin's just found a spoon adjacent to this concrete slab. Lovely little teaspoon. I'll get the markings off that and subtitle it. Good one. Good find. What I've actually discovered is there's a series of these tent encampment platforms through here. They're also built up for drainage purposes, obviously, so you're not living in the water because it's a high rainfall area. Each one of them has a associated concrete slab and a silage pit on the high end. Perhaps that was the ablution blocks. And then this built up mound where the tent was through here. Look, there may have been temporary buildings, but I think they're with a dirt floor, but I think that would have been canvas. Anyway, this one's a nice hide signal. I've dug it out. It's over in the front here. You can see that's a 78 jumping up to 80. This could be a decent find. It's fairly high conductivity. So we'll have a look at this one. It's in the front of this mullock somewhere. I didn't see anything come out. Oh, I've got it. Oh, here it is. It's a giant wing nut. Definitely World War II. Good one. Colin just called me over. She's away in the bush over here somewhere. I can hear the AT Gold beeping away. She's adjacent one of these raised earth mounds, the foundation areas for the tents. She's obviously got something over here. Something you haven't found before. What is it? What is this? Oh, a giant pair of World War II scissors. Wow. What about that? Actually, they're in really good nick. You could probably oil them up and... They're not bad, eh?
Yeah.
What a great find. Actually, what's that on the handle of this? Some sort... Oh no, it's a leaf.
No,
Yeah, I thought it was some sort of...
no, it's enameling coming off.
These are like big dressmaking scissors or something, are they? Maybe they're cutting canvas or something. Oh, that's a good find.
78.80.
Okay, Colin's requested a live dig. It could be a bit difficult because there's all this lantana in here. She's getting a 78.80. This is after the excitement of the scissors, which is an unusual find. I've never found scissors either myself. Oh, what's this? There's something there. That's not the target though. Oh, it is a target. What is that? Brass tube. Yeah, it's got a sealed end and a hollow end. I'm not sure. I'll clean it and have a look. It looks sort of familiar actually.
It's only little. Hey, what's this?
Don't know. It's old. Got no idea what that is. Where's the... Colin's informed me she's found half an Australia flash. It's a Relic flash. It's missing the ost. Which is curious because I found an ost at that casino site a few months back. Oh, she's got an assortment of gear in here. Well anyway, look, when we find this Australia flash, we'll have a look at it. Well, I just got a lovely solid 70 signal here, couldn't walk past that. Obviously it was the bowl of this spoon. World War II dessert spoon. Ripper. And that's in glorious condition too. Has dropped. No worries.
None of you men are old enough to remember when Pearl Harbor was hit. But I'll tell you here and now, we weren't ready for any long, tough fight.
Yeah, we were pretty lucky.
We were lucky we had allies to fill in the gap till we got ready. They bought time for us, so we trained the troops that were eventually needed.
Oh, we won, didn't we? Isn't that the important thing?
We won, all right. But we spent a lot of time training citizen soldiers, guys just like yourself, that were needed for those final victories. And I'll tell you this, all during those years, while we were getting ready, it was always touch and go. So we dug in and did the best we could. I know, I was in there from the beginning.
You were in the Pacific, weren't you, Sarge?
Yeah, I was up in New Guinea. If there's ever a campaign that was fought with few soldiers, with little training, it was New Guinea. I remember New Guinea from one end of it to the other. Now, one thing I always remember, we never had enough trained troops.
How come? Whose fault was that?
It's nobody's fault. It's just we didn't have enough reserve outfits training and ready to go when Pearl was hit. I was up in Hawaii at the time. One of the first outfits sent to Australia, then up to New Guinea. I'll never forget those days.
Well, there's yet another one of these earth mounds, which are the tent lines. They're all parallel, all through this bushland. And I just got that spoon, and now I've just got a nice high target tone here. Fortunately, this lantana has been burnt and it's died, because normally with the lantana you just cannot get into these spots. This might be just a brief window of opportunity this year while this scrubs down a bit. Okay, I just got to find this target again. Okay, there we go. Good solid 78, 79 there. That is a high tone. We'll go live. Okay, there's the target there. Definitely high 70s, jumps to 80. Appears to be fairly compact, so it's not a large target. Very loamy soil conditions here, as you can see. Okay, just in there, the centre of the coil, it's consistent 78, 79. So move a bit of this timber. That's going to be down amongst the roots. This might be a difficult dig. If it takes too long, I'll cut the camera off and come back when I have the target out of the hole. Hopefully it's going to be a good find. Okay, it's still in there. Just checking with the pro pointer. This is where the pro pointer is really handy when you're around the edges of a hole. No, that's not just in there. Under there. Didn't see anything there, but it's not far away. I have disturbed it. It's in my hand. Look at this. What have we got here? A halfpenny. You beauty. No, it's not. What is this? It's a coin with a hole in the centre. It's not a washer. Well, I'll just clean this and see what this is. Well, I'm glad I went live on that. It's a foreign coin, clearly dating from the war. I can't even read it. Is that a one something? I'm going to guess it's a guilder. I have found Netherlands East Indies coinage in these World War II sites. That's the modern day Indonesia. So when it was the Dutch East Indies, because the Australian Army was there during the retreat in 42, and a lot of the soldiers had coins from that area of the world. But that is a great find. I'm pretty excited about that. That'll have a year on it. I thought that was a halfpenny at first, but it was a nice high tone. It's 10. Is it a one? It could be a one guilder. Anyway, look, I'll subtitle it any information I can get on that coin. Okay, well, this is that coin. I've just Colin just had a good look at it for me. It's a 1942 Netherlands East Indies one guilder coin. Well, what an interesting history this coin would have had. Minted in Holland in the early 40s, sent out to the East Indies as part of the circulating currency in that Dutch colony, which is now Indonesia, of course. The Australian 8th Division went up there, and there was a lot of nurses too that went with the 8th Division in the defence of the Malay Peninsula, the Dutch East Indies, Biak, all those sort of areas. Unfortunately, a lot of the 8th Division went into captivity and ended up on the Burman Railway, but obviously one soldier or nurse brought back this 1942 guilder and into this camp area, which was established in 1943 before they went back to the north on the offensive against the Japanese retaking the Dutch East Indies and New Guinea. So, well, that's an interesting coin to find in a place like this. That's great. Great bit of history. Well, that's the wonders of this hobby. When you can come into a place like this, you look around this bush, you wouldn't think there'd be anything in here. those of us who metal detect know there are things buried in the ground, but to find a tiny little piece of history like that in this bushland, just fantastic. Great stuff. Well, that's the backfilled hole where I just got that gilder. Just over here, I've got the detector leaning. I've got a solid 77, shallow scrape, and it's in that heap there. That's a fairly high tone target. Sounds good. So we'll have a look at this one together. Just, that gilder was fairly deep. This wasn't. So hopefully it's not modern trash. I'm not finding much modern trash in here actually. Okay. And there's a leaf clump I've got here. It's in here somewhere. What is this? It's a ring. That's definitely old, with some sort of stone. It's probably just junk, but that's a World War II ring. It's not a modern ring, I wouldn't think. I mean, there's no modern stuff in here. Jeez. That took me by surprise. That is heavy. Oh, I couldn't imagine it's gold. Oh, well, I'll have a close look at that. That really took me by surprise. Not the sort of thing I expected in an army. Well, I'll give that a quick bush clean. Well, it's obviously not gold, but it's definitely, I'm pretty 100% confident that's sterling silver. Excuse my excitement, but we don't find many rings simply because of the places we detect. We don't do beaches, we don't, very rarely, and we don't do modern parks. We do these old World War II and 19th century sites, and it's not often you find a ring. I'm pretty confident that's going to be hallmarked, and I'll subtitle any details. And just to model it for you, it's pretty sure it's not a men's ring because it's very small. I'd say it's a woman's ring. Look, there could have been nurses in here, I don't really know, but it definitely looks old. And it's not a cheap ring. I've got no idea what that stone is, but it does change colour with angle. But anyway, I'll put any details on the video. Well, what a ripper. That was a gilder and a ring. Well, this one's a suspiciously high tone. Not a really big target. Medium size. Solid 91, 92. Usually that's a piece of aluminium can or some rubbish, but I'm getting 93, 94 in the bottom of the hole. Look, probably going to be a bit aluminium, but I can. I don't know what else would ring up that high. Okay, what is it? Big piece of metal, which you'd expect it to be. It's a drum bung. A small drum bung off the pressure end of the drum, I think that is. Not the main. Yeah, a little drum bung. Good one. Well, we're just heading back to the car for a bit of lunch and a cold drink. Colleen informs me she's just found a Rising Sun hat badge. Beauty. Look at that. Well, that looks to be quite, lugs are there. It's quite flat, good condition. Clean him up and have a look at it. So that's, we've got a collar Rising Sun and a hat Rising Sun. Now, beauty. Well, there's Colleen's Rising Sun hat badge. Reasonably good condition. No enamel left on it and a little bit of, well, actually it's not corroded, it's just discoloured. So that's fine. That'll clean up beautifully and go in the collection. What a ripper. I've just come into this rather open area down below those tent lines. I've got a good repeatable 76 and I think I just got a little threepence coin. I'm pretty sure I saw a threepence flip out of that hole. Very shallow granite sand here. Oh, there, yes, coin there. Yes, it's a little silver. That'll be a little 925 threepence, look at that. 1943 is it? Sheaf of wheat, sterling threepence. What a beauty. Excellent. Yes, there she is. It's a sheaf of wheat 43 threepence. I can't see the mint mark, but if there's no mint mark, it'll be Melbourne. If there's a D or an S, it's Denver or San Francisco. Of course, large numbers of Australian sixpence and threepence coins were minted in the US in 42, 43. Anyway, well, that's a great little find. A little silver down below the tent lines. Well, we're going to wrap our little hunt up there and head home. Hope you've enjoyed that there today. We have really enjoyed it. We've found some really good old artefacts and coins in here today, and we'll definitely be coming back. This is only our first trip in here, and as I said earlier, we were privileged to be invited into this site, so it's not open to general people, the public detecting, so that's great. So we'll be looking forward to bringing you more videos from in here. I'm sure there's plenty more relics and coins lying in wait for us, so thanks for watching, happy hunting, and best of luck on your next outing. Bye for now.